2013 has been a crazy year for video games. Console generations that lasted nearly 8 years finally came to an end and we received the next generation of consoles. But what I'm here to talk about is not the next-gen consoles, not which one is the best. More specifically, what I want to talk about is my own personal 2013 Game of the Year. Besides next-gen, I find 2013 games to be pretty interesting. There wasn't anything specifically on the next-generation consoles that really screamed to me that deserves a gigantic Game of the Year nomination. Sure, Killer Instinct is great and all, it's got really good netcode, which is probably the most next-gen thing of all the next-gen things, but it's literally a quarter of a game right now with a lot more coming along the way. Games like Killzone Shadowfall are kind of more of the same, and Knack definitely was unimpressive in the long run. But there was a huge trend in 2013, and that was the capability and the execution of storytelling in games. With certain titles like BioShock Infinite, and specifically The Last of Us, storytelling kind of took a very big leap in this year, and I'm kind of proud of the video game industry because of it. Now, granted, I played a lot of BioShock Infinite, I played some of Last of Us, and I understand why these games will be highly regarded as being Game of the Year material. But honestly, by the end of a game like BioShock Infinite, I was kind of unimpressed by the level design and specific scenarios that played out with certain boss fights. I wanted there to be a lot more of certain things and a lot less of some other things, but I was very intrigued by the story, its characters, its world, and its art direction. Fantastic freaking game. Last of Us is also extremely intriguing with its characters and storytelling. 2013 was the year of story. Now, I think story is important for games. It's something that needs to be considered to actually have it be taken seriously. But this isn't the early 2000s, where every single game was striving to feel like a story-driven game. This isn't the mid-2000s, where next-gen was coming out and everything was trying to capitalize on next-gen graphics, or at the time, current-gen graphics, to look as amazing and movie-like as it possibly can be. We already have enough Michael Bay action copy wannabe games, and we already have quite enough of other games that have a very small amount of gameplay to offer. Now, for Game of the Year, I'm looking for something that really stands out, not just between the story, it's important, but also gameplay. How does the game feel? How much do I remember it? And how much would I like playing it again? I do honestly think that's a huge thing to consider when you have a game that you really enjoy, or one that you think deserves praise. Would you play it again? Would you jump back in and enjoy the exact same experience all over again? Is there enough variety to the game and the actual experience of playing the game that you would do it all over again? I think that's really important, and the last time, or one of the hugest, biggest, my favorite games ever that I've played through so many times now, and I swear, if I was told to, I would do it again in a heartbeat, games like Resident Evil 4. So, with that in mind, 2013 on Yo Video Games especially has been very big. Devil May Cry, a lot of other games I really enjoyed. But there's a specific one that I still talk to my friends about. I still mention with Matt constantly, and we talk about our playthrough that we had. And we just wish there was more. We just absolutely want there to be more. And even with the recent ongoings about further development of said title, we're like, yes, we will absolutely do this again. And you guys can probably guess what my Game of the Year is. My official hype-ass award for the greatest video game of 2013 goes to Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Cut what you will. Kill everything.
This game was absolutely fantastic. Not just between the character development, the story, those things are important, but it wasn't centralized around that. It definitely assisted the game, and the story elements got you excited for the hype that was the gameplay. Everything about Metal Gear Rising and its core just emulated all of which I love about games, creating hype as hell moments, exciting action, and making you feel like you're a part of the experience while playing the game. A badass soundtrack that goes perfectly with the music, pretty damn good graphics and 60 frames per second on last generation consoles was an amazingly good idea, and I can't thank Platinum Games enough for creating possibly one of my favorite action games of all time next to Bayonetta. Metal Gear Rising deserves more praise than I've ever given it, and I gave it a huge review earlier this year because I felt it deserved it. Metal Gear Rising is that special, and what's even better is that it's receiving a PC port in early 2014, and you better freaking believe I will be there. Now there is new Metal Gear games coming out this year. It's going back to classic gameplay, classic sneaking gameplay, But after playing something like Rising, man, I feel like I've just been spoiled. Everything about the game was so much fun, and I absolutely cannot wait to do it again. Let me know what you guys think about 2013 and the year of games. And most importantly, what is your personal game of the year of last year? Leave a comment below and I'll summarize all the responses and actually put them in a follow-up video for my next specific game of the year, which is going to be talking about the greatest fighting game of 2013. Please subscribe and stay tuned, dudes, because the next one is going to be pretty interesting considering the fighting games that came out last year. This has been Maximilian, and thank God for Metal Gear Rising. That's it. Video games are done.